Good evening. I just wanted to make this short video for some of the emails that I've been getting. If it's one thing that I've noticed about this current um, culture in our community is there is a very high level of ignorance and immaturity going around. By my putting up videos that are of very sensitive subjects to where these particular subjects are things that are affecting the community despite a person's age, those things are always attacked in a very common platitude that has been going around our community for the past almost, I would say, 12 to 13 years. And it's this platitude that was cultivated by a whole lot of goofy comedians like Cedric the Entertainer, this common platitude of where people say, I'm a grown ass man, or you grown. Let me explain something to you ignorant Negroes. Yes, I'm calling you ignorant Negroes because that's what you are. Okay? See, what a lot of you don't understand is that there is a very big distinction of a person who is grown and a person who is an adult. See, it doesn't really take much for you to be grown. The only thing that you have to do to be of legal age, which means like 21, to where you now can smoke if you like. You can drink, you're free to do with pretty much whatever you want as long as it's within the areas of being able to be responsible enough to not break any kind of laws. And being a grown person is not enough for you to stay in the confines of the law. And I will explain it. See, this whole thing of, well, he's a grown ass man, or he's grown, or you grown, you can take care of that yourself. In terms of my particular situation, me not ever meeting my dad's people, that was his responsibility to take me down there to meet my grandparents. Okay? Because he was supposed to have been the adult, but he was just grown. See, the distinction of people being grown and being an adult person is someone who is responsible and does things that should be done. I know a whole lot of grown people who are able to buy alcohol, but they're drunks. They're alcoholics. You want to know why? Because they're not adults. Being grown doesn't imply that you're being a responsible human being. It means you're just old enough to buy drinks. It means that you're old enough to go to a strip club. It means that you're old enough to do a whole lot of things that most adults do not find attractive to do. Like drinking alcohol, destroying their bodies. Okay? Smoking weed, in which destroys the mind, simply because the man has made it legal for you grown folks to smoke weed. Why is it so many of you grown people you just can't find jobs? Because you cannot pass a drug test. So simply because the man made it legal doesn't imply that these institutions made it a policy that it's okay for you to join their institution with marijuana in your system. They're telling you, you can't work here because you are not a responsible adult because we found marijuana in your system. Do you understand the distinction now? See, what I'm doing, the reason why I put these videos up is because I'm being an adult. I'm being an adult. I share my life with people. It's called being an adult. My Uncle Carl, he had mocked me, and yes, Carl, it got back to me. Oh, he could have went down south to meet our mother and father. He a grown ass man. Yeah, but I wasn't of age back then when I should have been taken down there because your brother wasn't an adult. He kept listening to his twisted-minded daughter to prevent me from going down there. So I missed out on meeting my own grandparents because he was grown, but he wasn't an adult. See, when you are an adult, it means you are responsible. You do things that are responsible. And being responsible means to respond adequately. That's what it means. So you look at this generation right now. You can't tell this generation nothing. You want to know why? Because they grown. Yeah, they are of age. Yep. But they wasn't raised by adults. They was raised by other people who had that same mentality. And they'll tell their children, you grown now. You 18, you 19, you 21. You can get your ass out of my house. You grown. And then they go out there and they destroy their lives because you wasn't an adult enough to show them how to be responsible for their lives. You waited until they got grown, as y'all say, physically, and then you threw them in the streets. You want to know why you threw them in the streets? Because you're grown. But you wasn't an adult. See, being an adult is preparing your children for the world so that when they are grown and they venture out into the world in order to make it, due to the fact that you've raised them intellectually to be adults, they will not depart from those ways of adulthood, and their lives are going to be made responsible. They're not going to struggle as much. Of course, they're going to have their challenges. But due to the fact that an adult raised them intellectually in order to respond to the challenges of life, they're going to be successful. But if they're just grown and you just throw them out there, they're going to fail. They're going to fail because you was not an adult enough in order to prepare them for their ventures when it comes to this life journey. And I'm pretty certain by now everyone knows what the hell I'm talking about. But you guys have become so irresponsible because me personally, I'm not going to take any advice from some goofy comedian like Cedric the Entertainer. I don't even like comedians, all right? Because they clowns. And I know, we need to laugh sometimes, that's fine. But to take that upon your mentality, you have to know the distinctions between being a grown man and an adult man. But what you hear a whole lot in our community, being grown is used by a whole lot of people when they see some of our young people going down the wrong path. But simply because they are legally of age, we allow that. And what's the irresponsible response when it comes to us seeing this? You're a grown ass man. Let him find out for himself. Find out what? So it sounds like to me that you know what could happen to this young man or to this young woman because you went down the path before, or you were taught not to go down that path because your parent was an adult. and they taught you otherwise. But now, simply because you see these grown children going down that path and they wouldn't heed to your word, obviously, because it wasn't convincing enough, you throw your hands up. Hey, that's a grown ass man. That's a grown ass woman. Let him find out for himself. And that's not being a responsible adult. That's one of the reasons why this culture, this way, is the way that it is. This is the reason why you got 12-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds on Facebook, twerking, gyrating, listening to this creature under the name Sexy Red. This is one of the reasons why so many things are happening, because you guys have chosen to be irresponsible adults by just saying they grown. Let them do whatever the hell they want to do. And then as soon as they make the mistakes and destroy themselves, who the first people complaining and mocking? It's always y'all. It is always you. So do you know the difference between being grown and being a responsible adult? If you don't know, then you need to find out. If you don't take it from me or anyone else who understands it, find out for yourself. And you will find out for yourself. You're going to find out for yourself. You're either going to find out for yourself, or you're going to go through a challenge with one of your seeds. You're going to learn then. But there's a big distinction between being grown and being an adult. Some people were put in the position to where, even though they were physically grown, their parents wasn't responsible adults in order to take them to meet some of their family members or other areas in life, for them to prepare themselves for this life journey in spite of their age. Simply because they are of age don't mean, it doesn't imply that they are intellectually prepared to face life and go out there and make the right decisions. And a whole lot of times, one of the primary reasons why they are not prepared is because they didn't have responsible parents who were adults to guide them in the right directions intellectually. So a whole lot of this language that a whole lot of you talk today, you just a bunch of ignorant people. Ignorant. You ignorant. Oh, that person out there, he's grown. Ain't you a grown man? You know, you grown man. Yeah, you grown. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You wanna know why nobody else can tell you nothing? It's because you wasn't raised by a responsible adult. So a whole lot of you are walking around with this mentality, saying he or she, that's a grown person. You wanna know why you think that way? It's because your parents wasn't adults. You don't have any guidance, and so you're irresponsible of guiding others, because you wasn't raised by adults. You were just raised by some grown folks, just like you. So if all of this is understood, I greet you a good night. Peace.